Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley and today I'm going to be showing you how I got this Marilyn Monroe inspired ensemble today. Before I forget, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That way you won't miss out on any future videos. And if you'd like to know how I got this Marilyn Monroe inspired look, then just keep watching. Okay, so this is the inspiration picture I'm working with today, just the classic Marilyn look. And I'm going to start by spraying my face with this Badescu spray. And I'm just going to give myself a little spritz of that. And then I'm going to be taking the Becca First Light Priming Filter, which is a primer that I use all the time. I'm just going to kind of pat that into the skin. Then for foundation, I'm going to be using this BarePro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. And I'm unsure of the shade off the top of my head, but I will list that in the description for you. And I'm going to be taking my damp Morphe Beauty Sponge and just kind of patting that into my skin. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape, and I know this is in the shade Light Neutral. And I went a little bit lighter than I usually do for concealer because Marilyn did have that highlighted look in the center of her face. And then you'll see after I do this, I decide that's not enough, and I go ahead and add an even lighter color. So that's really important for this look, is to have a highlighted under eye, forehead, chin, and nose. And also, please excuse my neck. I know it looks like really weird, but my self-tanner is fading, so I hope that you can relate to me on that and not judge me too much. I didn't notice it until I was editing that my neck looked like that. Anyway, so now I'm taking the Estee Lauder Performance Perfecting some kind of powder. I'll list it in the description for you. But this is just going to kind of brighten. It is translucent, so there's not much coverage to it. But again, I'm just taking those extra steps to kind of brighten those areas. And I'm doing that with that same Morphe Damp Beauty Sponge. Now I'm going to take this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm not going to go crazy like I normally would because Marilyn wasn't too bronzed, but she did have a little bit of definition in her cheeks and on her forehead, so I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of that. Alright, now I'm going to take this Eco Tools brush and kind of dust off that powder where we baked it in. And I'm just kind of blending that into the whole face as I go. Next up, Marilyn had a very pinky cheek, so I'm taking the MAC powder blush in the shade Melba with my Morphe blush brush. I'll leave the exact number in the description, but I'm not really putting this strategically, I'm just kind of putting it all over the cheek area, even on the apples. Now I'm moving on to brows. I'm taking the Anastasia Dipbrow in the shade Soft Brown, and this is an Anastasia angled brush. And I'm just going to kind of fill in the tail end because she didn't have a super bold brow. My brows are actually naturally thicker than Marilyn's, so I didn't want to do a whole lot, but I am kind of making them a little bit longer and filling in the tail end. Next, I'm going to be dipping into the Tarteist Pro Palette, and I'm going to be taking the white shade Vintage, which I thought was appropriate for this tutorial. And I'm going to be packing that all over my entire eye space, so above the brow bone, on the lid, everywhere, just to give that really highlighted look. Next, I'm dipping into the shade Bold, and I am very lightly blending this into my crease. I am really focusing on not getting it anywhere else, and I actually ended up feeling like this brush was too big for that job, so I switched to this detail brush. Because Marilyn had more of a cut crease, we really want to focus this color just in our crease and then focus on blending it upward. And you're going to be blending for a while, so I'm going to speed it up for you. So now I'm taking the shade Indie on that same pencil brush, and I'm going to go directly over where I put the shade Bold just to make this color a little bit more neutral, because Marilyn had more of a neutral eye than a warm eye. Now I'm just kind of going over everything with that bigger brush to make sure we're all blended out. And then we're going to move on to cutting the crease. So I'm taking that same really light Colourpop concealer on the back of my hand, and I'm going to start carving out my crease with this brush. This is the brush that came in the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. So I really like to use this brush for carving out, but any flat synthetic brush will do for this. And I'm not just going to go halfway, I'm going all the way over. So I'm going to cut out my entire crease for this. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pat it over with my finger just to make sure it's all blended out. Now I'm going to take this white shade up here, and I'm going to just kind of set that, and as far as eyeshadow goes, that is all we are going to do on the lid. Now I'm going to be taking this MAC Iridescent powder in the shade Silver Dust. It's just a sample, I don't have the big size, but I'm just going to slightly highlight my brow bone. Nothing sparkly, too sparkly or crazy. This just has a little bit of a shimmer in it, but I just thought it went with the entire vibe, and I felt like something was missing up there. Next, I'm going to be taking this Stila waterproof liquid liner, and I'm just going to line my eyes. My camera cut out when I was doing my wing, but I'm just giving myself a little baby wing, nothing too crazy. And I went kind of thick with the eyeliner. Nothing crazy. But my lash glue is drying right now, so I'm putting on some mascara and going to prepare for false lashes. And I feel like my lash glue takes forever to dry. So you'll see that I'm also putting this NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in my waterline, and I'm also lining the top of my waterline, like above my eyelashes, which looks really creepy, but it really does make a difference. Alright, now I'm just going to smudge that out with this flat brush from Morphe. And just to make sure it's all blended out, we don't want any harsh lines. Now I'm going to be adding my lashes. These are the Ardelle Whispies, and I don't know where my tweezers are, but I think I did a pretty good job applying these the way you're actually supposed to apply them, so I'm pretty proud of myself. You can see I'm just kind of working with them until I get them in place. And if you are not comfortable with false lashes, by no means do you have to wear them. I just know Marilyn was actually pretty known for wearing false lashes, so that is why I went ahead and added them. But you could definitely just build up your mascara if that's what you're comfortable with. Up to you. Alright, now for Marilyn's famous beauty mark, I'm going to be taking that eyebrow brush and that same Anastasia Dipbrow, and I'm going to just make a tiny little dot right there, and then I'm going to go over it with the brown eyeshadow from the palette just to set it and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Now for lips, I'm taking the NYX Liquid Suede liner and lipstick in the shade Kitten Heels, and I'm going to slightly overline my bottom lip just because Marilyn had a pretty nice pout. So I'm going to line my lips, and I'm going to fill them all the way in just to make this lipstick last longer. That way if you're going to a Halloween party, you know it's not going to be going anywhere. And this is only a $4 liner, and the lipstick's only $6, and it's a super good quality, so I'm very pleased with that. Now Marilyn did have a glossy lip, and this dries down not all the way matte, but mostly matte. I didn't really want to add a gloss. I feel like red gloss is very messy for me, so I just went ahead and stuck with the matte lip. And there you have it.
Alright guys, that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you recreate this look for Halloween, make sure you tag me so I can see your recreations. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Happy Halloween!